Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track by an act named Vishwas Nicholas titled Live Your Dreams. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track that is, it's an amazing collaboration, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But first of all, we're going to listen through this track as a first impression, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Live Your Dreams. Or can we go back to the start? There we go. Okay, I'm liking that, what is that instrument there? Bom, 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 bom. It sounds like a bass of some kind, doesn't it? That's a hell of a guitar tone, isn't it?
Socially stand tall, flying far from your destiny.
Wow, we're going straight into that bridge. That's a big change from the guitar-led parts with the drums and the bass, and we've got some chorus and so ooh, it kind of pad-like backing vocals here. There's a lot of change in here. There's a lot to absorb. We'll continue though. Oh no, sorry, there's like the backing vocals with the main and then a piano line as well with the drums. Cool. Saxophonist, I think that's Fabian if I'm not mistaken, Grammy Award winner.
Come on, my God. Live your dreams. Live your dreams. 'Cause everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
He's got an interesting way that he kind of perks up at the end of his vocal lines and his melodies. I haven't really heard a lot of that, but I think it's a great way to make yourself distinct. If you can do something that's not too jarring, that catches someone or the listener's attention in a way they haven't heard before, you know, providing it's done well, it'll be memorable, and that's what you need from a first impression. Cool. Oh, we're doing that chorus twice. Yeah, I'm loving how cleanly he goes up to the high range of either his falsetto or his head voice there. Great vocal performance. Fantastic work, you know. Really authoritative, you know. To be able to sing like that cleanly is great. Saxophone solo. Riffing off of that initial vocal melody or the one in the chorus.
Are you living a lie?
I've got to hand it to him, like, there's a lot of space in this mix, in this recording, and this master, and I have to hand it to the people involved with the production. It's fairly unique in that you don't have everything crushed together. There's lots of space in there. It's almost like they realize that your typical audience member doesn't want to get a headache from having all the different instruments kind of coming at you at the same time, at the same loudness, and being a little, you know, overbearing and stuff.
After day, fearing what they may do or say, living in a shell, saying it's all well, flying far from your destiny. Live your dreams.
We got some additional vocal harmonies going on here in this. I am paying attention to like the guitars, the solo-y, sweet-picked melodic-y parts on the right. And you know, there's some cool drum fills in there, and I'm loving the resonance. The bass resonance on some of those toms is phenomenal. I'm not used to there being allowed to have a resonance on those, but you can tell it's been recorded with a fairly decent acoustic drum kit.
Live your dreams, 'cause everybody dies, but not everybody lives. Live your dreams.
For halftime?
Live your dreams, 'cause everybody dies, but not everybody lives. Time has no time for you. Don't let their words define you.
This softness in the singing now and this clean tones is a great contrast to the strong, emphatic, charismatic performances we had in the hooks and parts of the verse. I like the phenomenal amount of change that there is within this track. There is no part that feels like they're just phoning it in. There's a very deliberate attention to the way that they need to be emoting. You know, there's a few different people involved in this single, and we'll talk about that when we have a look at the lyrics as well, because I've got a list of that. But I have to be honest and say I'm quite impressed with how that extra level, that little bit of X factor we've got involved on here. It's quite nice. They really cared about this. You can tell from almost everything that you're hearing right now.
You're searching outside. It's hidden within you. Believe in yourself.
That hi-hat work is pretty sassy, isn't it, with those really quick rolls.
Live your dreams. Live your dreams. 'Cause everybody dies, but not everybody lives. Live your dreams. Live your dreams. 'Cause everybody dies, but not everybody lives. Life and
Damn, man, that ascending solo at the end there on the right was pretty phenomenal. We've clearly got musicians involved who can really know their instruments inside and out. And it's not only that, but also being able to phrase these parts. It's having the self-control to not just pour that all over the whole dang song. You know, like there are ways of staging your solo sections to make them more meaningful and less abrasive to the experience.
isn't God's hands, but the life you live is in your hands. Come on, my guy, live your dreams. They may laugh at you now. Live your dreams, but don't let them break you down. Live your dreams. You got to show them who you are.
This vocal grit, this vocal fry that's going on here, it sounds like someone who's really, really passionate about what they're talking about. From what I understand of Vishwas Nicholas, they had a bit of a difficult upbringing, but I think my understanding is they didn't really take him seriously. But he, you know, when he was growing up and wanted to do music, but he kept at it, and he managed to find a future where he's able to do it, which is great.
Your
Awesome.
dreams. You want to be a superstar.
That's almost criminally insane guitaring. Like, I haven't heard a lead guitar solo done that cleanly in such a long time. That's probably one of the most articulate, insane guitar solos I've heard throughout my time as a music reviewer. I have to hand it to whoever was doing that there. You are a shred. You are a shred. I don't know what is the word I want to say here. That's well. Like, I don't know if people listening to watching this review will understand just how long it takes to be able to do what just occurred then. And that's not to take away from Vishwas Nicholas's vocals. They're fantastic too. They're phenomenal. They're both phenomenal. I just legitimately that was a hell of a lead line there. Really was. And that was it. That was Live Your DreamZz by Vishwas Nicholas. Wow, dude. Wow. What do I say about that, man? What do I want to say about that? Sensational. Sensational work on that. Clearly something that very, very passionate about. You don't, you can't get that kind of performance across any of those instruments for someone phoning it in, But we'll have a look at the lyrics as well as the people who are involved in this, and then we'll have a chat about the conclusion part. Awesome. Let's do it. So we got a 2-time Grammy award-winning saxophonist Fabian, cellist is Paulina, violinist is Julia, drummer Brooks, pianist, singer, songwriter, electric guitarist, keyboard and rhythm programmer Vishwas Nicholas, mixing, mastering Berkwood, Netherlands. That was that's, I would say, to be able to sing like that and to be able to play the guitar like that, that's and to be able to write music like this is a triple threat. It's one thing to be able to shred like that, another to be able to express yourself as a singer that competently, and just to be able to arrange stuff like this. It's incredible. Really well done. You ought to be really proud of yourself. Absolutely no complaints on that front. We've got mixing and mastering as well as at Berkwoods in Netherlands. So as you can see here, there's musicians from all over the world, you know, from Ukraine, Italy, USA, Trinidad, India, Netherlands. Real global effort. And that's what's happening a lot of the time with musicians nowadays, is they're finding that they can work with people and that get their needs met 100%. And that's why it's really important to make sure that when you are involved in a project or writing music, that you don't sort of half-ass it. You really have to commit. You really have to commit. In terms of the lyrics, I'll just sort of read through these and then I'll sort of summarize as we go. So we're talking about like sort of peer pressure and living a lie day after day, trying to please everyone and stuff like that. You know, life and death is in God's hands, but life you live is in your hands. Come on, friend, marker or friend. Yeah, that's uplifting and exactly the kind of spice we need with music nowadays. That positivity that, this doesn't need to be your life. You can improve and move further. This is, this is something I think a lot of people will be able to relate to is that feeling of having to be someone you're not and trying to break away from that. I think a lot of people want to break away, and it's just incredibly difficult sometimes to be able to do that. But Vishwas is saying, no, you can do this. You can be who you want to be, live your dreams, because everybody dies, but not everybody lives. And that's so true. We got a saxophone solo there for an interlude, the lyrics aren't incredibly metaphoric. They're fairly straightforward, but that's fine. You're trying to tell a story. You're wanting the listener to understand it. You're trying to communicate clearly. You don't need to be hugely mystical about it. You know what I mean? I will also say that, actually, we'll get to the interlude, we'll get to the bridge. Oh, that was the bridge. Talking about living in a shell, saying all's well, flying far from your destiny. Time has no time for you. Don't let their words define you. The joy you are searching outside is hidden within you. Yeah, you can't go elsewhere to find your own happiness. You've got to find that within. You've got to... when you think about it, your brain is literally the thing that makes you happy or sad. It's how you react to things. So that's absolutely right. Obviously things outside of your control can mess with you. But it's about us finding our own passion and our own joy in life and trying to make the most of our opportunities. Believe in yourself the way I believe in you. I think that's beautiful sentiment. And hang on a minute. We've got, life and death is in God's hands, but life you live is in your hands. Come on, friend. And then talking about, they may laugh at you now, but don't let them break you down. You got to show them who you are. You're born to be a superstar, with the electric guitar solo at the end. And I think that's fitting, because if that's Vishwas Nicholas playing that guitar solo there, that's him saying, look, I did this. I accomplished this. Look, you're listening to me shred the guitar. I've made it. And Vishwas has. Along with the other musicians that are involved with this, I would say this is a hell of a start to the year in regards to the music and singles I listened to. Well done. Before we get into the conclusion, well done. I can guarantee that this is not going to be a particularly negative conclusion to this review. To conclude, I think the song was about being true to who you are, trying to work towards what you're passionate about, making the most of opportunities, living your dreams. And I think that is fairly straightforward, easy to understand. The role of the vocalist, the singer, is to communicate this, which was handled effortlessly, professionally, succinctly by Vishwas Nicholas. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that name. You know, the bridge part, that we had some interesting chord progressions in that, like middle 8 or middle 16, between like the outro chorus and that and the middle one. We had some interesting. We just had a whole lot of phenomenal instrumentation, and these chord changes were great. And I love so much of this song, and just the structure was interesting. I was thinking 4 minutes 28. What are we gonna do with that? Because even though I don't have an issue with listening to longer songs, that is still quite a long time, you know? But you've got a track which was structured well. Each of these instrumentalists involved play the parts correctly and phenomenally and emotively in a way that is lovable and agreeable. And, you know, totally things melded together really well. And lots of flourish and exciting instrumentation involved, and just the production was sensational as well. There were some parts which sounded initially a little bit quiet, but I realized that I didn't have my headphones on properly. That's why I had to adjust them. Pretty much a flawless track. I've got no real complaints about it. That was Live Your Dreams by Vishwas Nicholas, along with everyone else involved. Hopefully you enjoyed this track. I certainly did. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this, please do go show Vishwas Nicholas some love via the various social medias, and stay cool and stay safe. And please also remember to support your local artists, musicians at this point in time, as either help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spider hands out. Live your dreams, everyone. Live your dreams.